You move clockwise one position, and then you ask yourself, am I dark? Am I blue? If I'm dark, I'm going back. If I'm blue, I'm going for a swim. After you kill the door boss, you get this guy. I think that this boss, this guy, he's not bad. The DPS check for it is not bad, and the mechanics themselves, execution-wise, are not bad. There's, in my opinion, the hardest mechanics are at the very end of the fight. I could be wrong. I'm just getting the feeling that Party Finder will probably struggle with the end of the fight more so than the first part. But anyway, yeah, so fight this guy. Searing stream is just basic raid-wide AoE. I will say this, the mechanics look really fucking cool. At least, I really like the aesthetic of this turn. Okay, holy shit. Whoa! Whoa! Now, obviously, this looks like a fucking disaster. But basically, there's 8 towers here, and there's 4 AoEs. This is really easy, okay? This might look really overwhelming, but it's not. All right, so all of these, like, thorns here, they indicate the mechanic. So if you remember, this was an AoE, this was a tower, this was a tower, this was a tower, you know, this was a tower. So the towers were in an X formation, and the AoEs were on the cardinals, okay? So basically, he's gonna show you what mechanic goes off first, okay? So basically, he shows you all the mechanics. Then he's gonna show you which one's gonna go off first, all right? So he's going to tether the north and south. The boss is going to tether this AoE and this AoE. So what the party is going to have to do is the party stacks here first. If you look at these AoEs, right, they're like this, okay? So the only safe spot is like right here and right here. You just have to get on the sides. Now that's because he tethers these first. After he tethers either north or south and east and west, he's going to tether the towers. So then he'll tether to the towers. And then he'll tether the opposite. So in this case, he tethered north and south first. So he's going to tether the east and west second. So you have different people getting towers, right? So obviously the tanks will grab these 2 towers. The melee can grab like these 2 towers. Then you have the ranged. And you have the healers, okay? Now before this goes off, you know, he tethered the north and south. So you're going to stack like this, okay? Then after you stack like that, he's going to tether the towers. So then you're going to break off, after the AoE up here goes off, you're going to break off here, 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 and here. Then after you take your tower, you're going to stack like this. Because the sides are going to go off, okay? So it's really easy. It's a really, really easy movement. He's going to show you what the mechanic is, and then he's going to tell you the order of mechanics. So it goes north, south. So we're on the sides. So that's going to blow up. Get the towers. And then east, west. That's it. That's all you do. That's it. All right. Now, he's going to do near sight or far sight. And these are tank busters. If it's near sight, it hits the closest 2 people to him. So that's why you have people like max melee, and you have the range like all the way out here, and you have the tank inside the hitbox, okay? So near sight means you need to be close to him because he's going to blow the 2 closest people up. The other alternative is far sight, which you have the whole party go in the hitbox and the tanks go max melee. So that's how that works. Holy shit! Is near sight damage shared? No, it's just 2 explosions on both the proximity-based people. Look at Chet, dude. Look at this AoE. You know what Chet was doing? He was glaring. All right, anyway, he didn't give a shit that I was right there. Holy shit, what a legend. All right. Okay. Now this one is a little different, okay? Now this is one of the harder ones. Act 2. So that first one was Act 1, this was Act 2. Now I know this looks like a fucking mess, but basically he's gonna activate 2 of the towers and like 2 of the AoEs. So if you look, you can see a tower right here. And on this side right here, there's this big ass AoE, okay? All right, well, the AoE actually cuts into the tower a little bit. So it's really important to get your markers set up how we have our markers. If you look right here, you see how this A is not directly north, but it's to the west a little bit. It's very important that you do that, because if you put the A like directly north, then you'll miss the tower. So it has to be a little bit over here. Like whenever I do this part, I don't even look at the towers actually, I just look at the marker. All right, but basically how this is gonna work is he's gonna tether to the AoEs and the towers. He'll never do a tower and an AoE right next to each other. He'll do like an AoE over here. So this is an AoE. And then he'll do like AoE on these sides and towers on these sides. Okay, now it's random when he does it, or it can flip. So sometimes he could do the reverse. He can tether the tower on the east and west first and the AoEs north and south. So basically you should have like a person in the group call out if the safe spots are north and south or east and west, or you can just use your fucking eyeballs. This is how personally I tell. The only thing I look at is this tether right here. If the tether is to my right, then I know it's north-south. Those are the safe spots. If the tether is to my left, then I think to myself, okay, the tether's to my left, I have to move left. The safe spot is east and west. That's just how I think about it. You can think about it however you want. Okay, now this thing right here, this demigod double, that's a tank buster you have to stack. But again, if you got a big dick and a big axe, okay, and you're a fucking warrior main, then you don't need to worry about this bullshit. You just home gang and forget. Home gang that shit and forget about it. That's it. Tank buster, pfft, whatever. More like home gang, bitch. All right, so that tank buster did 200,000, so I'm going to assume that's a split. Okay. All right, now, remember what I said about the tethers. If it tethers to this thorn here, that means the safe spot is south and north, okay? But the tether is right here, so that means that the safe spot is east and west. Now, I'm gonna move my character in position. Whenever you do this mechanic, it's very, very important to not get disoriented, okay? Everyone has a different way of making sure your orientation is good. I'll just tell you mine. You can do it, you cannot do it. Maybe you'll find it helpful. I basically position my camera the exact same way regardless of the mechanic, so that my movement is the exact same. So if I have to move east to west, it's literally the same keystrokes, meaning that it's W and S. So right when I see that the safe spot is east and west, I immediately move my character in the same position, okay? I'm in the same position over here as I was right there. My viewpoint is identical from what it was. And I recommend everybody do this. This will help you with this mechanic. This will eliminate multiple lines of thinking, like as far as your orientation of the room. Okay, now he's gonna do Wreath of Thorns, okay? Now, this is one of the harder ones. The discovery of this mechanic was harder than the others. So if you look right here, this is a fire, okay? Now, if you can see this thing up here, this green thing, that's the wind. And then you can't see it in this perspective, but there's three different types of tethers. There's a dark tether, which is like a purple, which basically looks exactly like this, except for it's dark. You have this one, you have the wind. Those are the three. You're gonna have 2 DPS with the wind, 2 DPS with the fire. A healer with dark is gonna be tethered to a tank without anything. And then you're gonna have a tank and a healer tethered with fire. Basically, whenever you separate, you stretch these tethers. And when you stretch the tether, it detonates the element that you have. The goal of the fire is it's like a share, right? Fire is like a stack. You can think of it like the fire in E11 if you did that. The wind basically completes itself. They just stay together the whole time. The dark tether, when you detonate it, which you detonate it immediately, it puts a magic volt on everybody for 1 second. That mechanic will show up later in the fight. But for right now, you just detonate it right away. I'm just gonna tell you what you need to do and then I'll explain it. If you don't care for the reasoning, you can just skip over this shit. And if all you care about is what you have to do, then that's fine too. But this is what you have to do. TLDR, the safe spot is east and west. The healer with dark needs to go down right here, and the tank needs to go up here. By doing this, you stretch this dark tether. And when it explodes, it's going to hit everybody and put a magic vuln for 1 second. Now you need to do it right away. Everything in this phase is like magic damage, okay? So these towers are lightning. The fire is fire. You know, the wind is wind, you know? So you stretch out the dark tether and you break it immediately. After you do that, you need to have the group stacked up here because the boss is going to do these AoEs, okay? So let me show you. So right when I see what tether I got, the only two people that should be outside of the boss's hitbox is the healer with the dark tether, which is right here. See this dark sign? Okay. The tank is going to run down here and they're going to break it immediately. Those are the only two people that need to be outside of the boss's hitbox because he's going to do this ability called Dark Design and all it does is put AoEs down. It's basically just baited AoE. So this is a bait. You can't pre-position because if you pre-position, you'll get an AoE on you and you'll have to move out of position. So it's better just to bait all this shit, to bait all these AoEs. You see all these AoEs that just came out? So like I said, I'm just going to tell you what you have to do and then I'll explain why later. So everyone stacks into the boss's hitbox except for the dark healer and the tank. You bait out the AoEs. After the AoEs, then you move into position. The position that you're going to move into looks like this. This is the dark tank, so they're going to take this tower, and the dark healer is going to take the tower. The tank is going to be tethered to the healer, and they have fire. There's going to be 2 DPS that have wind and 2 DPS that have fire. So you need to separate. The 2 DPS with wind are always going to go with the healer. Basically, you have 2 groups. You have a north and east group, and you have a south and west group, okay? These are the windy boys. You have the tank run down here and you have the healer run up here. What this is going to do is this is going to break the fire tether and it's going to explode. And the people you're going to share it with are the other 2 fire tether people, which is the DPS, and the 2 wind people down here. After you do that, the second AoEs are going to blow up, okay? And you have to take this tower and you have to also dodge these 2 AoEs. This is what we did. You could probably do it another way, but I'm just going to tell you what we did. We had this group move up here, okay? So these are the 2 wind guys, and then this is the healer with dark. And then the tank actually goes counterclockwise. This fire tank goes counterclockwise, and this fire DPS goes counterclockwise. And the reason why you do that is so that you can break this fire tether and share. Now, I know that was like really confusing, but I promise it's really easy on execution. So let's watch the VOD. You break every tether except for the wind. Yes. You break every tether except for the wind. So I got the fire, okay? And I'm tethered to a healer. So I'm going to run. I'm going to break my fire tether first. Okay, so these 2 DPS with me, they're the wind. All right? Okay, now this tower just went off. All right, there's a lot of shit right here. This was the fire explosion that I just broke. And this right here, this arrow, this is the tower. Now, this is the fire healer. Me and Bach were tethered together, but we already broke our tether. So now Bach's going to grab this tower. And right here is a safe zone. Narlock and another DPS have the fire tether, and Nova and Chet have the dark tether, but they already broke it at the very start. So Nova grabbed the first tower. Nova's going to come up here with me and Nar, and all 3 of us are going to share the fire while Bot grabs the tower, and they're going to do the exact same thing, but on the opposite side. Okay, we're a little greedy there, a little greedy. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, and that's it. So one more time. One more time from the start. Okay. Just one more time from the start. East and west is safe. All right. Now I ask myself this question. I position myself max melee because I can only get one of 2 things, okay? So like I said, if you play DPS, if you play tank, you can only get like one of 2 things. So if you're DPS, you're only going to get fire or wind. If you're a tank, you're either going to get fire or dark. So because I know that, I position myself max melee so that I can just stand there and let the healer run and break the tether and it'll go off. If I have fire, I just move into the boss, okay? That's what I ask myself. I'm asking myself, you know, okay, what tether am I going to get? Okay, cool, fire. I'm going into the boss. Nova goes out to break. Tether breaks. AoEs go out. Because I'm fire, I move to the safe zone, away from the tower. The wind DPS stack with me. because I separated with the healer, we broke our fire tether. And then I go counterclockwise. The two DPS that are tethered together, one of them needs to go counterclockwise while one of them goes clockwise because you need to break the fire tether like you did with the tank and healer. So then you meet up and then you just break that. You get those two towers and then boom, the mechanic's over. So after all that garbage, Ultimate Impulse. It's just a raid AoE, but it does high damage. So make sure to mitigate, you know? Now, this is Act 3. This one's pretty easy. This one's pretty easy. Everybody has a job, okay? Now, this one, all right, it's really important because you can get full uptime on this even though the boss jumps back and forth. Okay, if you look at what's going to happen, okay, so he's showing you what's going to happen. So there's going to be a knockback at some point, and there's going to be 8 towers. So this kind of looks like Heaven's Fall. So there's 4 towers on this side and 4 towers on this side. So basically, you just need to grab all these towers. But while you need to grab all those towers, the boss is going to do, he's going to do mechanics, okay? Now, this is also random which side he tethers to, but it doesn't really change much. Okay, so he tethers to this side first. So whatever side he tethers to first, that's going to be the range side, okay? Because that means that those AoEs are going off first. So he tethers one side and then he tethers another, all right? He also tethered the middle second, okay. It's going to look something like this. So you have a range side and you have a melee side. Based on what he tethers first, you already know what side you're going to be on, right? So you can pick your spots like at the beginning of the, you know, the instance or whatever. During this time, he's going to do 2 things. He's going to do a super jump, which he's going to target the farthest person from him and kick them and knock everyone back that's around that person. And he's going to do it twice. And after he kicks you, he's going to send out 3 earth shakers. The person that got kicked, they have a vuln. Okay, you see how Nova is the farthest person away. So the boss is going to kick, and everything around the boss is going to get knocked the fuck into the spikes, okay? So you don't want that. So I do a GCD, and then I peel off, and then after the boss kicks up here, I then go back and DPS. So he's going to kick. After the kick, whoever baits the kick has to run through the boss behind. And then you have people baiting the earth shakers. So, like, because my tower's here, I'm just going to grab this earth shaker. You can have the person that has that tower, you bait the earth shaker into the wall, and then the person that has this tower right here, you bait the earth shaker down there. So there's going to be 3 earth shakers, and the earth shakers are targeted by the closest people. So, boom. All right, during that earth shaker, the towers on the other side go off, okay? See right here? So the Earthshaker goes off at the same time as the towers. So that's why the range, they take the first set of towers. If you have melee take the first set of towers, then you're over there standing there with your dick in your hand. You know what I mean? Okay, after that, after the Earthshaker, you pop your anti-knockback, okay? Pop this, because right after the Earthshaker, there's like a 2-second window where, remember the water, it's going to knock everything back, okay? There's going to be a knockback. You can anti-knockback this. So you want to pop your anti-knockback and stay in the tower so you can keep full uptime. Now, right after this, the boss is going to do another kick, okay? He's going to do another kick. Now, you see that shit? Over on the other side, after you grab the tower, you want to have the person baiting the kick already in position, and it's the farthest player. So, like Chet right here, he's going to move up a little bit so that way the kick is baited in between the towers. See how Chet moved up? The water... They all pop their anti-knockback so that they don't move. All right, so now he's going to kick. You see how the boss went right through Meast? For some reason, you can do that. I don't know why. Just don't be around the guy that gets kicked, but you can be in the line for some reason. So right after the kick, the melee towers are going to go off. After the melee towers go off, you can dash back, and there's going to be another set of Earthshakers, just like the previous ones. And you can have people plan for this. In the same case, Chet's tower was right here, so he grabbed this one. Bach's tower was all the way down here, so he grabbed this one. Since Rab baited the kick, he can't take an Earthshaker, so Meast is right here. He took the Earthshaker. And then after that, that mechanic's over. It's done. This is a tank buster again. right after the kick into Earthshakers, he does a Tank Buster. So this is far. Okay, so the previous one was near, remember? Because it's far, that means he's going to target the farthest players from him, the 2 farthest players. So in this case, the party is actually going to move inside the boss, and the tanks are going to go max melee. So a Tank Buster here, Tank Buster back there. Okay, now this is kind of a weird Tank Buster, man. This Tank Buster is a double hit. It targets, I believe, first and second threat. I don't think it targets tanks. It's like threat based. It targets first and second threat, and it's like a hit with a bleed. It's a hard hitting Buster, but with also a bleed. But the harder the Buster hits you, the harder the bleed hits, I think. So try to mitigate it as best you can. So like 17k tick. I don't know how much it's ticking her for, but it's not near as much as it's ticking me for. I can get in like 2 GCDs before a tick. The way I mitigated it was I mitigated it with Equilibrium and Bloodwetting. Now, if you notice here in this one, there's towers and there's AoEs. In this part, everybody's going to get a tether. Okay, again, I'm just going to tell you what you have to do first, and then I'll explain why later. If you don't care about why you have to do it, that's fine. So you're going to get tethers, okay? Every player is going to get a tether, and the tether is going to be to either an explosion or a tower. The only thing you have to worry about is your tether, okay? So actually, I'm going to move all this shit off. Let's say you're tethered to this one over here. All you have to do in this is whatever one you're tethered to, line yourself up with it, move clockwise 1 position, and then ask yourself this question. Do you have dark or blue? If you have dark, then you run back. If you have blue, you run across. That's it. That's all you do. The reason why you do that is because the blue tether is like a water explosion around you, and the dark tether, it's the magic vuln AoE. This mechanic looks really complicated, but it's super easy. I'll just let the VOD play first so that you can see my movement. And keep in mind, you don't need multiple perspectives. You literally just need 1 perspective, because every single person in the party does the exact same thing. You line yourself up with the tether, you move clockwise 1 position, and then you ask yourself, am I dark? Am I blue? If I'm dark, I'm going back. If I'm blue, I'm going for a swim. Okay, now you don't have to remember that, but that's how I remember it. I swim to the other side, okay? All right, so let's see what I get. All right, let's see. All right. Okay. Line myself up, and then I move clockwise 1 position. Now, real fast. Now, if I'm blue, I move clockwise 1 position, and then I go across. However, I don't go all the way across yet. Okay, you position yourself around the boss, and here's why. The boss casts Searing Stream here. If you pop your dark tether, you'll give everybody magic vuln, and this attack will kill you. So, the order of mechanics is locate your tether, get in front of it, clockwise 1. If you're dark, just stand there for a second. If you're blue, move to the opposite side of the boss from where you are and just wait there for a second. Wait for this ability to go off. This is a magic attack. Take the damage. Get hit, then you move out. This is me grabbing a tower. So I grabbed a tower. Okay, now, after you do that, you're going to pop 4 tethers. The other 4 people are still going to be tethered. Now, the people that are still tethered here, those are the AoEs. This is why we put the markers like this. So you see how that's 1? Okay, this is the first AoE we're going to blow up. This is the second AoE. This is the third AoE. This is the 4th AoE. Okay, we're going to do it in that order. Right after you do your movement, you always go directly south. As you're moving south, if you have a tether, you need to see which tether you have. Is it the first one to blow up, or the second one, or the third one, or whatever? So I have the second one. Rab has the first one because he's tethered to that one. You need to blow these up in order. The reason why is because they have an AoE. So, boom. And then you just move clockwise. Then you do it again. Now that's me. I run out. Now see, there again, if you're a warrior, you don't lose any uptime. And let me explain why. Because as a warrior, you can do a GCD, run out, and then primal Ren back to the boss without actually losing a GCD. So it's very important to understand the advantages that a warrior brings, okay? This is just another example of why warrior is the best. So then you pop that, then the third one goes off. And then you pop the last one. And that's it. That's the whole mechanic. So, just to recap. When this mechanic goes out, there's 4 towers, 4 AoEs. 4 people will be tethered to towers. 4 people will be tethered to AoEs. You move clockwise once. Ask yourself, am I dark? Am I blue? If I'm dark, I'm staying there for a second. If I'm blue, I'm going for a swim. You're going to position within melee range of the boss. Wait for the AoE. AoE goes off. Then you're going to blow up your tether. The dark are going to go back. The blue's going to go straight across. Ding dong. Swim time. This is going to be on the test, so you guys better be fucking paying attention. I'm going to do another poll later. AoE went off. I went back. Stood in the tower. Rabs first with the explosion. He runs back. Boom. Doesn't miss a GCD. He's ranged. Okay, I'm second. I move back. I'm a warrior. I don't miss a GCD because I got Primal Rin. Big dick. Who was the third tether here? Okay, Meast. He's ranged, okay? Nova. Now, you see she missed like 9 GCDs. You see that shit? Okay? However, that's why they put Enhanced Unmin in the game. Let's see how many Unmin casts that she got off. Okay? This is why they put Enhanced Unmin. Okay? There's one. Oh, nope, that wasn't one. Okay, so she missed like 3 casts. So she's not taking advantage of her trait. All right, now that's unfortunate. And then after this, he does this raid AoE. One last thing about this, it's very, very important that you pop these on time. And the reason why is because this gives you, every time you pop one of these AoEs here, it explodes the dark tether and it gives you a stack of magic vuln for 1 second. Now, if you notice, this magic vuln is up at the same time he starts this cast. So if you pop this last tether too late, you'll have this magic vuln on the whole fucking party and you'll get hit by this magic ability and you'll just die. She's ready. She's ready. All right. Okay, now this one's like really fucking easy, man. He just does another raid AoE. You know, whatever. All right, now this one's really easy, okay? More towers. Same towers. There's 8 towers here, okay? Now this one's really easy. The only thing that matters is you need to remember what number you were, okay? Yes, you can absolutely save a charge. Okay, so for this, all you do is get next to this. You just get next to whatever thorn you're tethered to. So like in this case, we're all over here, and then the other half of the group's over there. That's it. The boss is going to do 8 individual attacks. So watch him. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now he's going to do this, okay? He's going to tether himself to all of these. When you do this mechanic, you need to literally say out loud to yourself what number you got because it's easy to forget. All right? So you get hit, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Now, he tethers himself in order to the towers that are going to blow up. I have a debuff. Lasts 15 seconds. If I take the first tower, I'll die because the tower's magic and this is going to kill me. So I have to take the 8th tower. Now the first tether is right here, which means that's 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. You know, you get it. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So this is my tower. That's Zemo. That's all you do. You just stack by the thorn you're tethered to, and you wait until he hits you. You count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, or whatever. Let's say you get 3. Here, let's say you get 3. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Say it over and over and over again. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. That's what you do, okay? That's what you do. And all he's going to do is blow the towers up in order. That's it. That's this entire mechanic. All right. After this, it's another far sight or near sight. Same shit. And he follows it up with another double buster. Okay. Oh, no, this is Searing Stream. This is just another AoE. Just another AoE. Okay, Demigod double. Now, let me see the timeline. Demigod double. So it happens at 132. Oh no, that's unfortunate. This is just another reason why Warrior is God tier. What did I tell you at the beginning of this video? I said Warrior doesn't give a shit about these fucking pussy ass busters, okay? They don't care. All right, Warrior just home gangs this shit. If you have another tank, you have to actually do a tank swap or you have to do some fuckery and shit. No. The Warrior's got you. Shoo. Get out of here, Gunbreaker. Get out of here, Dark Knight. Get out of here, Paladin. The main tank, Warrior. I'll do you a favor, okay? I know you got the inferior invuln, so I got you, okay? I got you, okay? Now, if you're a Warrior main like me, you can just home gang all this bullshit. Wait, who is this class Paladin you're talking about? It was in last expansion. Okay, but if you're a Warrior, you just invuln this shit, okay? You don't even give a fuck. You just invuln it. Okay. And after this. Okay. This is the last mechanic. We're almost done. There's going to be 8 thorns on the arena. Okay. Just look at this madness. Look at this shit. Okay. Now they're all dark tethers. This is a lot of magic vulns. This is very, very heavy on execution, okay? I would say the two most important parts of this are the tank pop at the very start and the DPS pop. So the first and second. The goal of this phase, if you notice, everyone has one of these. If you look down here, mine is 31 seconds, okay? Here's all the debuffs, okay? Now there's a 32, a 12, a 42, a 22, another 22, 32, 12, and 42. All you have to remember is this. If your number is 12 or 6, go pop your tether. And the reason why this works out is because the tank will always pop the first tether. The magic numbers are 12 and 6. This is what we used. The reason why is because the tank with 12, okay, so in this case, it's me. I instantly pop my tether. Right when I see that I have 12, I run the fuck out and I pop it. This means that the DPS with 12, there's a 6-second buffer where we can take the damage, get healed, and then pop the tether. When I pop mine at 12, if Rab runs out at 6, his will pop somewhere around 4 or 3, and that will sync up with the next person, so there'll be 2 22s. We do tank, DPS, healer, DPS, tank, DPS. Basically, DPS are in between every single one of them, okay? I run out, I pop my tether right away. Now, the next one that needs to pop is a DPS, and that's 12, okay? So by the time that I run out, pop my tether, Rab is going to be around 7 seconds. When he sees 6 seconds, he runs out and pops his tether. And that's going to line up with the 22s. So because it's the third, the healer knows that they're going to go next. Because the next 2 would be a 22, right? So it's 22 and the other 22, which is right here. So it's Nar and Bach. So Bach knows he's going next. So right when Bach sees 12, he runs the fuck out, pops his tether. When Nar sees 6, because their timer's the same, he's going to run out, pop his tether. And then the other tank, which is Nova, 32, now she's going to be at 12. She runs out, pops her tether. The other DPS is 32, which is right here. He runs out, pops his tether. So you see how it is? 12 and 6. That's all you got to know. Some groups do DPS first. Some groups do tank first. We did tank first. You can do DPS first. You can either do tank first or DPS first. It really doesn't matter. The advantage to doing a DPS first is that if you time it right, the boss won't move. But if the boss moves during that phase, it's really not that big a deal. However, in Party Finder, it's probably going to be that big a deal. I think that Party Finder is going to struggle with this, but I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. This just seems like a mechanic that's going to fuck Party Finder, but I don't know. We'll see. You can do it either way, but I'm just going to tell you the way we did it. Now that I said all that, I'm going to play it out so that you guys can see. Okay, so he's going to do curtain call. Okay? Now, shortly after that, you're going to get a debuff, okay? Now, I got 31. I know that Nova is going to run out first. I know she has 12. So she has to run out first and pop it. So that means I'm going to tank the boss and hold it in the middle. So she runs out. Pop. Now, right around this time, the boss is going to do this. Hell's Sting. This is going to be a telegraphed AoE into a non-telegraphed. All you do, you just move out, and then after the AoE goes off, you move back in, because this is a two-part. This is going to attack here, and then right after it blows up here, it's going to blow up here. That's literally it. That's all you do to handle that AoE. During this part, the DPS was 6. You have to pop your tether during this. So let's say that the DPS is Arthur's here. After this pop, he needs to run out, and then as he runs back in, he needs to do this. He needs to pop his tether as this Protean goes out. That's literally the whole last phase. That's it. Now, if you'll watch, there's going to be a Tether Explosion. Okay, see that Tether Explosion? There's a second AoE. Here, look, I'll play it again. All right. Telegraphed AoE. Dark Explosion. Non-telegraphed. Then the healer. Okay? Now look. Remember my AoE? 14, 13, 12. There's the DPS. I run out. Here, I'll play it again. I'll slow it down too. The timing on this is very important, okay? So look. Meast is going to run out soon. If you notice, my timer right here is 17. So that means in 5 seconds, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. Meast has 5 seconds to run out for the explosion to go off, because these tethers, they don't pop right away. So, Meast is going to run out. All right? He runs out. Now look at my timer. 14, 13, 12. Look, I get the fuck out. Right when I see that pop, I get the fuck out. Now look how long it takes for my tether to pop. Look at that. It counted down to 8. Look, this is how long it takes for the tether to pop. I run out and it changes color at like 11. We'll just say, you know what? We'll just say 10, just to make it even easier than it actually is. It still took 2 seconds to pop, okay? So even though you run out at 12, it's not going to pop until like 10 or 9. So it's just really important to know. And then he does another AoE, all right? So he does another AoE here. This AoE is the same thing, okay? Same thing. See this explosion? That was the DPS one. This is the same AoE. Same AoE. Another pop. And final pop. It's very important to do this in order because, again, everyone has a magic vuln and he's casting Ultimate Impulse. So get everybody healed up, shielded, reprisal that shit, and then you literally just do it again. It's literally identical. It's identical to the same thing. I even got the same debuff, okay? I even got the same timer, all right? So my timer, 16, 15, better get the fuck out, Zeems. Get the fuck out, Zeems. Run out. I ran out at 12, by the way. Just move in. Boom. That's it. That's it. Oh, no. Look at the timer, dudes. Look at the timer. Oh, my God. Are they going to kill it? 20 seconds. Are they going to kill it? Chet Mix has a damage down. What is that? Oh my God, he's casting them. Oh God, that's the enrage. Look at that shit. Yo, look at that. We killed it with 8 seconds. Yo, that's it. That's it, baby.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, click the bell for all the future updates on the ship.
That's it. That's the guide. Yay, we did it.